Good evening, sir. I'm Decadet Rebaya Jampol, and we're the Group 6. Our topic is Colreg 72, Rule 18 and 19. Course Outcome. Working Knowledge on Colreg 72. Rule 18. Responsibilities between vessels. Rule 19. Conduct of vessels in restricted visibility. Learning Outcome. Demonstrate working knowledge about the Rule 18 and 19. Responsibilities between vessels and conduct of vessels in restricted visibility. Importance of the topic. The students will have a working knowledge about the Rule 18 and 19. Responsibilities between vessels and conduct of vessels in restricted visibility. Vessels not under command or restricted in her ability to maneuver must avoid impeding the safe passage of a vessel constrained by her draft. Rule 18. Responsibilities between vessels, except where Rules 9, 10, and 13 otherwise require. A. A power-driven vessel underway shall keep out of the way of first, a vessel not under command. Second, a vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver. Third, a vessel engaged in fishing. Fourth, a sailing vessel. So, understanding and complying with the rules the above are to be committed to memory and applied when meeting any of the named types of vessels, except if the situation is within a narrow channel. If an overtaking situation arises, then the rules named above would take a precedence if required. B. A sailing vessel underway shall keep out of the way of first, a vessel not under command. Second, a vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver. Third, a vessel engaged in fishing. C. A vessel engaged in fishing when underway shall, so far as possible, keep out of the way of first, a vessel not under command. Second, a vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver.
For letter D, any vessel other than a vessel not under command or a vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver shall, if the circumstances of the case admit, avoid impeding the safe passage of a vessel constrained by her draft, exhibiting the signals in Rule 28. Subparagraph 2. A vessel constrained by her draught shall navigate with particular caution, having full regard to her special condition. For letter E, a seaplane on the water shall, in general, keep well clear of all vessels and avoid impeding their navigation. In circumstances, however, where risk of collision exists, she shall comply with the rules of this part. For letter F, a weak craft when taking off, landing, and in flight near the surface shall keep well clear of all other vessels and avoid impeding their navigation. And for subparagraph 2, a weak craft operating on the water surface shall comply with the rules of this part as a power-driven vessel.
Good day everyone, I am Cadet John Lloyd Raveles, and this is the Rule 19 of Regulation for Preventing Collision at Sea 1972, Conduct of a Vessel in Restricted Visibility. Section A. This rule applies to vessels not inside of one another when navigating in or near an area of restricted visibility. So this sentence is kind of obviously needs to be restricted visibility, which is divided and defined in Rule 3 of course. But your own vessel doesn't need to be in it. If you're approaching another vessel which is in a restricted visibility, Rule 19 which is still applied. Paragraph B. Every vessel shall proceed at a safe speed, adapted to the prevailing circumstances and condition of restricted visibility. A power-driven vessel shall have her engines ready for immediate maneuver. So we start to talk about the safe speed is actually covered in Rule 6. But paragraph B of Rule 19 reinforces it is it is and says that you need to proceed a safe speed adapted to proceed at a restricted, and a power-driven vessel shall have our engines ready to immediate maneuver. So it's one of the few rules that actually direct you exactly what you've got to do. With your engines, you need to be ready to maneuver immediately. Paragraph C. Every vessel shall have due regard to the prevailing circumstances and condition of restricted visibility. When complying with the rule of Section 1 of Part again gets similar to paragraph B, and just say that you need to have due regard to restricted visibility when complying with the rules of Section 1. So not only are we talking about the safe speed, but also talking about the lookout of risk of collision, action to avoid the collision narrow channels traffic schemes.
To be continued in Rule 19, so we have here the letter D. So, a vessel which detects by radar alone the presence of another vessel shall determine. So, if a close quarter situation is developing or in a risk of collision exists. If so, she shall take avoiding action in ample time. So, in what do you mean by ample time? So, ample time means that she needed to finish. She have the time needed to finish the test. So that it will provide that when such action consists of an alternation of course, so far as possible the following shall be avoided. So we have here there are two. So in number one, so an alternation of course to port of a vessel forwards of the beam other than for a vessel being overtaken. Number two, an alternation of course towards a vessel, a beam, or abaft the beam. Next, letter E. Except where it has been determined that a risk of collision does not exist, so every vessel which hears apparently forwards of her beam the fog signal of another vessel, or which cannot avoid a close quarter situation with another vessel forwards of her beam. So she shall reduce her speed to the minimum at which she can be kept on her course. So she need to reduce her speed until she can kept on her course, and it shall necessarily take all her way off and in any event of navigate with extreme caution until the danger of collision is over. So that's all for the Rule 19.